So this is what makes life divine. I'm all aglow, and now I know the key to the heavens is mine. Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you all doing? What is good? How's everybody doing? Cause you've been talking in your sleep, dreaming in your mind, some sweet love you've been holding on so tight. Hey everybody. Hey Rosa, my love. How are you? What is good? My hair is everywhere. I hope that you guys are having a good day. I meant to write something to Jasmine. I have to write to her later. Rosa, I'm always available for a phone call if you ever need one. Hello, everybody. What is good? How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. My name is Jennifer. I am a life coach. I am a communications coach, and I am a clairvoyant psychic. I am here to help you guys and to be a fun, happy, enjoyable, accepting, loving part of your day. My squad runs deep, and we are here to promote self-worth, intelligence, intuition, and joy. Today I'm going to be talking specifically about your inner child. What is your inner child? How does it affect your life? Why is a relationship with your inner child important? Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I am the kind of person who likes to do two things at once. It is just in my nature. So I love doing something while I'm doing something else. I am just a multitasking queen. Also, I just think it's more fun to look at me doing something than for me to just be like, anyway, this is going on, and this and this and that, and that and this, and this and that. So, happy Sunday, my baby. Rosa, I just wanted to let you know, if you needed something, like if you needed to talk, like on the house, like I owe you like 1,000 free readings. So, if you ever wanted a phone conversation, all you have to do is say the word, I'm here for you. I just putting it out there. So first thing I'm doing is I'm using this Clean at Zero. This is the second one I bought. This is a green toning pad that is exfoliating and toning my skin. So let's talk about inner child. Your inner child is your emotional center, the part of you that feels things on a deep level. It's called your inner child because it is your truest form, you at your rawest emotion. Whether it's your happiest, your saddest, your most creative, your most afraid, it is the emotional gooey center of who you are. This inner child obviously is a representation of your formative growing years. Believe it or not, your personality develops from the time that you are 0 to 5 years old. Who you are inherently as a person develops from the age of 0 to 5. Everything that you believe about yourself, about the world, about life, really is solidified in a lot of ways from the time that you're 0 to 5. Now, obviously with help, with spirituality, with wisdom, we can change those things and we can offset those things, but that is like your default state, right? So your relationship to being able to get in contact with that inner version, that inner you, and being able to relate and understand to that inner you, it has a lot to do with managing your feelings, managing your anxieties, self-regulation, emotional regulation, understanding what's going on. Have you ever just been really upset for no reason, and you're just like really mad or angry or upset or annoyed for like no reason, or just sad for no reason? There's something going on there, and if you don't acknowledge it and try to work through it, you're going to keep getting more and more frustrated. So I'm sure that this is a time that we can all relate to, just feeling off or sad or whatever, maybe not really even having a reason to feel sad, but there's something that is just bringing these emotions up. This is the time when you want to get in contact with your inner child. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about is what is your inner child? What is it about? You know what I'm saying? And, basically, what is your inner child? What is it about? I am in the United States of America right now. Currently in the United States of America. Originally, I'm from New York City. Well, not New York City, but New York State. I was born in New York. I was born in New York. In New York. So, next thing I'm going to do to my face is this Heritage Foundation or Heritage Store Rosewater and Glycerin. I love this stuff so much. This is like my third or fourth bottle of this. It's only $15, which I think is like nice. It just makes me feel so fancy. And like, it's just nice. It smells really pretty. It just feels nice being on your skin, especially in the hot weather. You take your little fan. I feel like a fairy sitting on a rose right now. So, your inner child is within you. It is whenever you feel embarrassed. Say you're at work and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. What an idiot. That pang of insecurity that you feel is your inner child. Say you're walking down the street and you like slip on something and you face plant and everybody around you is like, that pang of embarrassment is your inner child. Say you really were looking forward to going and hanging out with your friend and you found out that your friend like made other plans and like they basically dumped you. That like sadness, that rejection, that deep feeling is your inner child. And it's important for you to acknowledge your feelings. The problem that we all have is we're all trying to be grown, we're all trying to be tough, we're all trying to be strong, we're all trying to be like, whatever, I don't care, whatever, that's fine. But the problem is, if we don't take a moment and acknowledge our feelings, those feelings are going to get bottled up. And eventually you will explode at the wrong place and the wrong time. Have you ever seen somebody in a video lose it on like a waitress or a cashier or somebody and they're just like freaking out about like the price of something, or they're just losing their damn mind on a total stranger for some stupid reason because they couldn't use a coupon or something? We've all seen those videos of people acting crazy and outlandish, right? That is because they have been bottling up emotions. I'm going to try to make excuses for these people. They're reprehensible. But it's because they've been bottling up their emotions and taking it in. And eventually something just snapped and they exploded. We've all seen these people, right? We've all seen these people. Welcome in, everybody. By the way, my name is Jennifer. I am a life coach and a communications coach. I help my clients all over the world for the past 26 years change the course of their life, helping people get themselves redirected, follow their dreams. I am committed to doing everything I can to help you. So if you would like to buy a reading, I'm also clairvoyant. If you'd like to buy a reading, it's $7 for a mini, $15 for a full. Links are down below. If you're interested and you have any questions, Rosa can help you. But I'm trying to just educate right now on inner child. I also do answer yes or no questions. So if you guys have a yes or no question that you would like to ask me, please feel free to ask me. I'm also legally blind, so if you see me get real close to the screen, it's because that's how close I need to be able to see. LOL. These messages are so boring. I wish there was something that I could react to, but there's nothing that's interesting here whatsoever. Thank you, Rosa, for being here. I really appreciate this. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay. Put that person in timeout. Like, if you're gonna try to come here and be a hater or a troll, at least say something I can respond to. Like, give me something to work with. Do something creative. Show me something. If you want to troll me, but do it in a creative way that I can respond to. Let's have a conversation about it. Don't just like be typing gibberish. Give me something I can react to. I'm gonna tell you guys how to connect to your inner child. It's super easy, and it's an easy way to do it. Hey Bethany, my love. So let's talk about inner child. I want to take you through what it looks like to connect to your inner child. So you gotta be very perceptive about yourself. Say you start to feel the physical sensations of discomfort in your body. That is different for everybody, so it's not the same. But like, say you're starting to feel anxiety. Where do you feel anxiety first in your body? For me, when I get anxious, I feel it in my stomach. I feel like that tightening in my stomach. That's how I know I'm anxious. When I'm mad, I feel like a hotness in my face. So if I feel the hotness in my face, I know I'm mad. If I feel the anxiety, the tightness in my stomach, I know that I'm anxious. If I feel like a kind of like a knot in my throat, I know that I'm sad, right? So mad, sad, anxious. You have these tells in your body as well. They may not be the same as mine. They may be completely different, but you have to start learning and understanding when you're feeling upset about something. The first thing is to not try to react immediately. I'm going to talk about our reactions to stress and discomfort in a second. We're going to go there. Just give me a second. So let's say you're feeling that pang of anxiety. You start to feel it in your body like, that feeling is anxiety. I'm feeling anxious. Here's where we start to talk to our inner child. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling anxiety. What am I anxious about? Try to look at it from as calmly as you can. Imagine that you're looking at yourself from an outside perspective with all of the calmness that you can muster. I'm feeling anxious. Why am I anxious? Well, go through what could make you anxious. Go through all the possibilities. I'm anxious. Well, am I running late? No, I'm not running late. I do have to make that difficult phone call with, Lucy later. I'm not really looking forward to that phone call. I know that phone call is going to be stressful. So that is definitely making me anxious. I'm feeling anxious about that, right? I'm feeling anxious. So we understood what the trigger is. Now also look for other triggers. Did you eat something? Did you drink something? Did you get enough rest? Think about all the physical things that could also be causing you discomfort, because sometimes you just need a snack. Sometimes you just need some water. So once you kind of diagnose like what your anxiety or your fear or your whatever is about, then you can go through to the process. Next thing you want to do is, okay, I'm anxious about talking to Lucy. I'm nervous that if I talk to Lucy, she's going to yell at me. I feel like she's going to be mad at me because she's going to be upset that I didn't get these reports in time, and it's going to be stressful. So then once you acknowledge and identify what the stress trigger is and what you're worried about, then we're going to go into parent mode. We're going to go into the parent mode, and that's where we talk to our inner child. We try to get into our parental mode, and we try to challenge our anxiety. If Lucy gets mad at us, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? She's probably going to yell, and then she'll get over it. She's probably going to be mad, but then we'll just get her the reports and she'll be fine. Is there, we have to kind of go into like the worst case scenario. Not the worst case scenario, but what's the worst thing that could happen? If we know that this anxiety is not something that is like a trigger, that is something to really worry about. Like, okay, Lucy in the past, Lucy has been annoyed with us. She might say something, but then she just moves on. She gets past it. As long as we get the reports in, we'll be fine. So we say that to ourselves. And then here's where you go into, as a parent, imagine yourself as a young baby, a child, 5 years old, 4 years old, 8 years old, whatever age feels natural, don't second guess it. You could even go to yourself as a teenager. It doesn't matter. Go with whatever your mind intuitively feels. And every time you visit your inner child, it could be different ages. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Whatever pops into your head is the right answer. Don't overthink it. Go to yourself and say, I know that you're feeling anxiety right now. Imagine this in your mind. Imagine yourself walking up to this child version of you. I know that you're feeling anxious right now. I know that it doesn't feel good to be yelled at. And I know that yelling makes you nervous. And I know that you've been yelled at in the past and it wasn't easy for you. But, we can get through this. We're going to be okay. Lucy is a really good person, and she has a kind of a right to be upset with us. We should have had the reports in. It's okay for her to be a little annoyed. We would probably be annoyed if somebody was late with something we wanted, right? So it's okay for her to be upset, and we have to kind of own up to that. And let's see what we could do to offset her upset. Maybe we could give her a deadline that we can actually keep next time. Maybe we can, bring her in a coffee or something to make her in a better mood. Maybe we could apologize for it up front and not wait for her to bring it up. Maybe if we take control of the situation, you see how we're talking to the younger version of ourselves in a very comforting way, but we're problem solving. I don't want you to overthink this. It's just talking yourself through it. I'm going to give you a real example of something that happened with me. Don't laugh at me. I will give it to you. Don't laugh at me though. And the thing is, sometimes you're going to be talking to yourself about silly things. But that's okay. It's important to acknowledge how you feel. This is part of emotional regulation. The reason why people get into big ass fights with their partner, the reason why people are acting like fools in the streets, and the reason why people make a lot of bad choices they make is because they do not have emotional regulation. They have emotional dysregulation. I'm telling you, if you can learn to do this, it will help you in so many ways. It'll help you be a better person. It'll help you be more confident in the long run. It'll help you make your life so much better. So let's sometimes it's about understanding the other person's point of view. Lucy has a right to be upset. We're late with the reports. We're not the victims here. We did create problems. Maybe we had excuses to being late for the reports. Maybe we had, our kid broke their leg, or maybe our car had a flat tire, or maybe we had a really bad migraine for 2 days. Whatever the case may be, we may have had reasons, we may have not had reasons, but we have to acknowledge her side of the story. And this is the thing about self-regulation. It's acknowledging your feelings, your emotions, and what you're going through. And it's also acknowledging what the other person's going through and trying to find a solution and getting yourself to a place where you're calm and regulated, so that when you walk into that you're in a more powerful stance, you're kind of ready, and you're able to manage your anxiety and your fear and your issues. This works with every aspect. Hey, Jasmine, I actually wanted to talk to you, honey. I wanted to say to you, if you want, I wanted to offer you like a free 10-minute reading by phone if you wanted it. Just let me know if you want it. I wanted to talk to you on the phone about stuff. So here's what I'm going to say. These things, it's basically like when you got to think of it like this. Why do I always feel extreme fear, panic, and anger all the time? It's because that's what you experienced as a child. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you very much for saying you like my way of being. I really appreciate that. Many of us, we got to understand that a lot of our adult reactions to things are based on as a kid. If you were in a household where you were yelled at, where you were mistreated, yelled at, where you had to walk on eggshells because your parents were always fighting, or, that carries over into adulthood. These fears, and that's why it's so important to understand your inner child is very fragile. And sometimes your inner child overreacts. Sometimes your inner child blows things out of proportion or jumps to conclusions because they're raw. It's raw emotion. You as the adult have to come in and reparent yourself and help yourself talk yourself through things. And it can be really a challenge to do that sometimes, but with practice, it gets better. Emotional regulation is such a powerful tool. If you have emotional regulation, you are going to be able to rule your life. You're going to be able to be more confident. You're going to be able to problem solve. You're going to be able to deal with people. You're going to be able to have better connections and relationships. You're going to be able to know who is worth your time and who isn't. When you're feeling fear or anxiety, you've got to talk yourself through it. Challenge your fears, talk yourself through it. Try to empathize with the other person, and also try to understand like what's going on in your side of the situation. It's hard. Like, I can walk you through a situation if I know exactly what you're talking about. I can help you, but I'm just trying to give you the basics. Let me give you an example, 2 examples of what I do. One example that I do, and I've been doing for a long time, is I tend to be somebody who tends to run late for whatever reason. I'm a little disorganized. but I used to get so stressed out if I was late. It used to freak me out. And if I was late for something, I would get nervous, anxious, bitchy. I was just like a hot mess. If I was running late for something, I would get so upset and stressed out about running late that it would like make me miserable and all upset. But it would also, and it's not good to put your body through that, but it would also make the people around me miserable because I was being like a crazy bitch because I was so stressed out. Like I didn't have control over my emotions. So I had to learn how to regulate my emotions. And if I see that I'm running late, one of the things that I do now is I go, all is well. I have all the time in the world. Even if I have 2 minutes, I have all the time in the world. I have all the time in the world. Even if it's not true. Saying that to me calms me down. It's my trick. And you'll develop your own tricks. It calms me down to a place where I can breathe and regulate my emotions and get whatever I need done. And if I'm 5 minutes late, I'm 5 minutes late. But I'm not stressed about it. It helps me. I have all the time in the world. Usually when I say that, I get everything done and I usually have time to spare. So it does help me. Once you understand how to calm yourself down and quiet your inner child in a healthy way, you're going to be able to rule the world. You're going to be able to rule your life. Another situation that I went through very recently is for a long time, so basically from April until the beginning of July, I had on acrylic nails. I love acrylic nails. I think they look beautiful. I love, love, love acrylic nails. It is so much fun to get new designs. I just had a ball with acrylic nails. From April 17th to July 2nd, I wore different sets of acrylic nails continuously. On July 2nd, I decided to take off my acrylic nails. I just felt like I needed to take them off. They were overgrown, and I just felt like I needed to give my fingers a break. And so I took off my acrylic nails. But I was so sad the next day. Silly, but I was sad about it because I just was looking at my short little fingers and I just was sad because I missed my acrylic nails. And like I just felt so bummed out about it. And like I know this is silly, but sometimes it's gonna be silly. Sometimes the things you're upset about are gonna be silly. Maybe they canceled your favorite show. Maybe you broke your favorite mug. Maybe you wanted to get Count Chocula and they discontinued it. That happened to me recently as well. I didn't have to have an inner child conversation about it, but I was in the mood for Count Chocula cereal and I realized they discontinued it. They didn't technically, it's like a Halloween thing, but like, bitch, I wanted some now. Like, it's July. Come on now. Anyway, so I even went on Amazon looking for it and they were like unavailable. That wasn't a crisis for me, but it could be for you. Maybe that Count Chocula cereal or whatever chips or whatever cookies is like something that's, nostalgic or important to you, and you really wanted it for whatever reason. And, maybe that's going to send you into a sadness, and that's okay. Not everything we get anxious and upset about is like a big deal. Sometimes it is, but it's not always, right? So what I'm going to say to you is, like in every situation of life, if you catch it early, you can fix it much easier. Whether you have a fire, whether you have, a fire, a leak, any kind of problem, if you catch it early, it's going to be a lot easier to fix, right? Than if you just ignore it and let it go and pretend it's not happening. And that's the thing with emotions. If you catch those triggers early, you'll be able to more successfully calm yourself down. What we mostly do is we try to pretend it's not happening. We ignore it. We ignore, and then all of a sudden we are in tears. So I had to have a conversation like, I know you're disappointed that you don't have nails, and I know you really love your nails, and I know you're sad because you feel like it was so much fun to have them, but you also have to know that your fingers are important. And I was imagining myself talking to like myself at 5 years old. You know that your fingers, your nail health is important, and it's not like you can never have nails again. You will have them again, but it's healthy and it's good for you to take a break. And you have to do what's right for you. And you're still beautiful, even if you don't have nails on. You have other ways you can express yourself. You have other ways to be fashionable and be creative and expressive. Nails are not the be all and all. You can still paint your nails. You just need to give yourself time to recover. And you're just, I had to have that conversation because I was scared. I was not scared, but I was sad and bummed out. Even though I knew logically in my brain, I knew it was the right thing to do. But my little heart was so sad not to have nails. I was missing them so much. My little lemon nails, I miss them to this day. So, it's like, that's the situation. We sometimes are going to get upset over little silly things. Sometimes it's going to be big things. Why did they leave me? Why did they cheat on me? This is the same situation. Why did this happen? Or why did I lose my job? Or why did I, why does my, daughter not talk to me? Or why does my brother not talk to me? It's like all this stuff is important. And I want you guys to know that. Like, this is something, if you guys can get through this. Oh, Jasmine, it's not anything bad at all, honey. I just felt like I wanted to give you some time. I felt like I wanted to give you some time. I just wanted to be nice to you, and I wanted to give you some time. It wasn't, you don't have to use it now. I just wanted to give it to you to have whenever you wanted it. I just felt like I wanted to do something nice for you. That's all. Aw, thank you so much. So here's the thing. If we can learn to do these regulations, it can help us a lot. And sometimes life does move quickly. And sometimes we don't have time to sit there and think about, like, what's going on in the moment. And you're going to have times where you're like, somebody's in your face, like, what is the answer? And that can be really hard. You know what I mean? But after that stressful situation, you got to just kind of take your moment. And if you, on a regular basis, are honoring yourself and honoring your emotions and understanding what triggers you and what upsets you, if you do this for the little things, you'll be so much better at doing it with the big things. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you, on a regular basis, know how to comfort yourself and soothe yourself, self-soothing is a power move. It is a huge power move. Self-regulation, self-soothing are huge power moves. And it will help you become successful. You see how, like, I deal with people who come in this room when they're like haters and trolls and stuff, and my self-esteem is really high, and I just don't let anybody bother me. It's learning how to self-soothe. It's learning how to regulate your emotions. It's learning how to deal with things. I've had a very demanding, high-stress job. My job is it can be so fun and so cool and so rewarding, and I've had so many wonderful, awesome experiences, and I love my job, but my job can be extremely stressful sometimes, dealing with people's real life issues when they're in crisis, and turning to me to solve their problems, to help them solve their problems, and like, what do you do when you're trying to help somebody change and transform their life, and you're the person that is there for them, and you're their person, whether they're going through things. And I'm hundreds of people's person. Like, you know what I'm saying? There are hundreds of people that, like, rely on me on a regular basis to, like, keep their shit together. And that can be a little stressful sometimes. So, but I'm trying to teach you guys and my other clients the art of emotional regulation, emotional management. And it's not about suppressing your emotions. It's not about, like, trying to not have emotions. It's about understanding your emotions and being able to soothe yourself so that you can process and work through and understand. Because sometimes, that can be the key also to better relationships, better friendships. Like, say you're sad because your friend didn't call you on your birthday. And you're like, oh my God, Susan didn't call me on my birthday. Susan and I have been friends for 30 years. I can't believe she didn't call me on my birthday. How could she do that to me? Doesn't she? Oh, that time I loaned her $500, and that time that I baked her lasagna when she was sick, and that time I watched her kids when she had to go to the opera. She's so, can't believe she didn't call me on my birthday. Like, we get like that sometimes. We all get like that sometimes. But, like, you have to start and calm yourself down and start to think, like, why wouldn't she call you on your birthday? Did you guys have a fight? No, of course you didn't have a fight. Do you have a good relationship? Of course you do. Maybe something's going on in Susan's life. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she's going through some kind of emotional turmoil. Maybe she just forgot. It doesn't mean you don't love somebody if you just forget their birthday sometimes. Like, you cannot measure the whole weight of a friendship on like one act. And a lot of people tend to do that. They'll get like so upset over one thing, and it's because they want to be seen. They want to be like, they have a deep need to be felt, to be cared about, to be acknowledged. We all want to be acknowledged, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be acknowledged. But you got to kind of understand that sometimes shit happens, and you can't measure somebody by like one bad thing. You have to think about the whole bulk of the relationship. So a lot of times people will be like, I can't believe Susan didn't call me on my birthday. What a bitch. Next time she calls me, I'm just going to be so mean to her. Either they'll call her up and they'll be like, I can't believe you didn't call me on my birthday. You're such a shitty friend, Susan. How could you do that? And like, that's one way of going it. And I'm going to talk about our reactions to stress, because this is a perfect segue. Another person would be like, I'm just going to ignore her. Next time she calls me, I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm just not going to answer the phone. I'm just going to, Another way would be, well, when she calls me, I'm just going to be like, yeah, how you doing? Whatever. Oh, yeah, by the way, like, and just be bitchy to her for an hour. Susan doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't understand why you're being bitchy. She's just going to be like, wow, she's being a bitch. I hope she's all right. Susan won't understand, like, the whole dynamic. We get in our own heads about things. And let's talk about the way we respond to stress. There's 4 different ways to respond to stress. You guys, think about your responses. Now, we all tend to have one specific way that we respond, but you can respond in many different ways. But primarily we have one way to respond. So the first way to respond is to fight. When you're stressed, you want to fight. I'm going to call Susan and I'm going to be like, how dare you, bitch, not call me on my motherfucking birthday? What the fuck? Don't you know I made that lasagna for you 4 years ago when you broke your leg? Bitch. That's one way of handling it, is to fight with Susan. You're not thinking about what might be going on in Susan's life. You're not thinking about anything, but I'm sad, I'm hurt, I'm offended that Susan forgot my birthday. And I could never have this conversation on TikTok. I'd be banned by now. The glory of YouTube, because I can never have this conversation on TikTok. TikTok doesn't understand that I'm an actress and I'm acting a scene. So that's fight. Fighting, when people are in the fight mode, they want to fight. If you say, hey, I think you hurt my feelings right there. No, I didn't hurt your feelings. You hurt your own feelings because you're a punk ass bitch. Fighting, the people who fight, they just will fight you. They get super defensive, they get very upset, and they just want to like either throw words or throw hands. That's the fighters. Any fighters out there? Any fighters out there? No hate to the fighters. It's just the way you are. Then there's the flighters. They react by running away. So they will just ignore Susan. They'll just, I don't want to fight with Susan. I don't want to have a talk about this. I don't want to have any conflict about this. I'm just going to run away from Susan. I'm going to ignore Susan. Susan, we're not friends anymore. I'm not going to tell her that. I'm not going to have any, if she calls me, I'm just going to ignore that bitch forever. She's dead to me. Susan and I are no longer friends. I'm running away, and I'm just down. And there's the kind of people, if you're like, hey, you hurt my feelings. I can't talk about that right now. I gotta go. Later. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. Later. This is not, you're bringing this up now? We'll talk about it later. Later never comes. Because a runner is a runner. And they run because they're afraid of conflict. And they're afraid of being blamed and shamed. A runner is afraid. A fighter is like angry. You have the audacity to say something against me, to voice your opinion. Fighters are kind of the worst. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like when you're a fighter, you're very closed off to any kind of conflict resolution. If you're a runner, you're also bad, but not as bad as a fighter. A runner is just like, I can't talk about it now. We'll talk about it later. Later never comes. Then we have the freezer. So a lot of people who have dealt with abuse in their childhood and trauma in their childhood are freezers. People who freezers, they just go quiet. You can talk to them and they're just like, they usually will just not acknowledge what you're saying, or just, yeah, They'll just like yes you to death, or they'll just like, so with the whole thing of your friend Susan not calling you, a freezer would probably not mention it. They would just not mention it. A runner wouldn't mention it, but they would ignore Susan. A freezer wouldn't mention it, But when Susan called, they would just act like nothing happened. They wouldn't ask her. They wouldn't say anything. They would not voice their feelings. They wouldn't ask her anything. They would just pretend it never happened. Freezers tend to have that response, and a freezer is somebody that you can work with, but they're hard to reach sometimes because these people have been chastised, they have been abused, and they have been criticized for voicing their opinion in childhood. They've been criticized for like bucking the system, and they've been abused for it, so they tend to just shrivel up and go into this like inside place, and like you maybe can see something going on the inside, but they don't want to deal with conflict. They just kind of shrink, and they might just yes you to death. Yes, 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 okay, I understand, got it, yeah. They don't want to fight. They want this to end. They're just going to experience and endure until it's over. Then you have the fawners. Fawners are a little bit like the freezers, a little bit like the runners. They're a little different. Somebody who's a fawner, they're going to just make an excuse and try to get out of it. They might take accountability, or they might bring it up, but it's like, well, you didn't call me on my birthday. That's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Like, I figured you were just kind of busy. Like, I wasn't really upset about it. I was just like, whatever. It's fine. Like, no, don't. I mean, you're fine. I mean, I didn't even really, like, think about it or notice it or whatever. It's just fine. That's a fawner. A fawner is gonna kind of bring it up a little bit, or like say something a little bit, but like also back out of it. Like, they're the type of person like who will just their reaction to stress is to like just kiss the surface of whatever's going on, but then immediately retract. Like, oh, I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings. Oh, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings. Whatever you said, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Yeah, I just don't feel good though. I got a headache, and I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, bye. Like, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to do any resolution. They don't want to talk about, like, maybe, you didn't mean to. They'll just try to back out of it. Or if you hurt their feelings, they'll do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, you hurt me, but it wasn't that. It wasn't a big deal. It's like, no big deal. Don't worry about it. I can't talk right now because I got a stomach ache, and I just want to. They usually kind of feign sickness. Like, I don't feel good. I got a stomach ache, got a headache, got period cramps, my hair hurts. They'll just say something to kind of get out of the conversation. They don't really want to acknowledge it. They'll kind of bridge. They'll just kind of like brush the surface, but not really acknowledge. And that's the fawners. So those are the ways. You're a fighter? I don't know, Rosa. I don't think that you're a fighter. I think you can be a fighter. And we all have different aspects of these, depending on who we're with. I think that you're not a fighter because a fighter doesn't take advice. A fighter doesn't listen. They're just like, I know best. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my face. And I feel like you have a lot of passion, and you have a lot of fight in you, and you are a fighter in life. But I don't think your stress reaction is. I do think that maybe that has happened to you in the past. I'm not saying you never have had that, but in general, if you have, I feel like you've grown out of that a lot, because you're not somebody who is super defensive. You're not somebody who doesn't take advice. Fighters are people, I'm just going to say, that when you talk to them, they're just like, I don't want to hear it. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, I don't want to see the facts. I don't want to see your proof. I don't want to see your evidence. I don't want to see anything. You're wrong. You're wrong. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not even listening to that. Get out of here. I don't want to listen. No, I'm right. Don't tell me what I know. I know what I know. You don't tell me what I know. I know what I know. Get out of here with that. That's somebody who is a fighter. They don't want to listen. They don't want to acknowledge they are right. And it's like, the more you try to push them, the more aggressive. I'm going to kick your ass if you don't leave me alone. You better get the fuck out of this room. Like, they get more and more aggressive. They're just so blinded with rage. You know what I'm saying? That's how they are. So, let's recap, everybody. When you feel the physical sensation of stress in your body, you're going to acknowledge what that stress means. We all have triggers. You're going to feel that feeling. Is it anxious? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Is it boredom? Acknowledge what it is. But usually it's going to be anxious, sadness, fear. Sometimes anger. Anxious, sadness, fear, anger. It's going to be one of those, right? Acknowledge it. What am I anxious about? Be honest with yourself. Even if it's something silly. I'm anxious because my husband ate the last ho-ho. He was saving that ho-ho, and he ate it, and I'm pissed because I don't have time to go to the store today and get new ho-hos. Fuck. We can get angry over silly stuff sometimes. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. We're emotional creatures. We're gonna have our moments where we get upset and dysregulated over silly stuff sometimes. The thing is, you have to be able to just acknowledge that about yourself, not feel bad, not shame yourself. Like, the worst thing you could do is be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? I can't believe you're angry over a stupid ho-ho. Get your shit together. You don't even fucking need that ho-ho anyway, stupid. You never want to say that to yourself. And I know a lot of us do. A lot of us are very mean to ourselves. And a lot of us are like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Stop complaining. Stop thinking about that guy. But still, get your lazy ass up. That's like so bad. Don't do that. That is not the good way to talk to your inner child. Usually people who have that kind of relationship with themselves were people who were talked to like that as children. You know what I'm saying? So if you do that, if you're like, I'm so fucking stupid. Like, I have a friend who says that about herself all the time. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so fucking stupid. Oh, I can't believe how stupid I am. I'm like, stop saying that about yourself. You're not stupid. Jeez. And like, people say that without even realizing it. They just say that because they're so conditioned to say these things. They've been saying these things for years. Try to really catch the way you talk to yourself and really think about it, because saying the way we talk to ourselves, it affects the way we live our life. It affects the way we think about ourselves. If you look in the mirror and you're just like, oh God, I'm so hideous, fucking stupid hideous bitch, like, that's bad. You gotta be nicer to yourself. You gotta be kinder to yourself. You gotta treat yourself like a 5-year-old child who deserves all the love in the world because they're just a sweet, innocent soul. That's how you have to treat yourself. And if you can learn to do this, you will be able to better yourself. Acknowledge the feeling in your body. Assign an emotion. Talk through logically what you're feeling, acknowledge it, and don't judge yourself for it. Find the logical reasons behind this feeling, meaning think about the other person's perspective, think about what else this could be, don't just jump to conclusions. Then problem solve. You know what I'm saying? Problem solve in a very loving way. Don't feel pressure. It's about talking to yourself in a very loving way. Parenting yourself. Think about like the Brady Bunch, right? If you've never seen the Brady Bunch, then go watch an episode of the Brady Bunch. It's on Paramount Plus. When the Brady kids got in trouble, their kids were like, you fucking bastards! God, you fucking broke the lamp again! Fucking bitches. These kids, ugh. The Brady Bunch father and mother were like, kids, we know you like to have fun in the house, and we understand, and we're glad that you guys like to have fun in the house, but, this isn't the way to go. Like, the Brady parents were always nice to their kids. That's how you have to talk to your inner child. That's how you have to talk to yourself. Kindness. You know what I'm saying? Watch a couple of episodes of the Brady Bunch to get a flavor of how to talk to yourself. Kindness. Empathy. If you can show empathy to yourself, you'll be able to show empathy to other people. You'll be able to make better friendships, better relationships, better connections. You'll also be able to regulate your emotions. So you'll walk into every meeting, every workday, every family gathering, every situation, every first date, regulated, confident. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's, Rosa, I agree with you. Your inner child is tough. She's a tough girl. And you are learning to heal. And I see that you're healing. You're growing so much. You're such a strong, beautiful, amazing woman. And I see so much beauty and grace and kindness and love and empathy in you. It's beautiful. I forgot to do the rest of my skincare. We'll do it real quick. We'll do it real quick, everybody. We'll do it real quick, everybody. We'll do it real quick. Wow. So, that is the thing with your inner child. I'm using this is the e.l.f. Triple Bounce Moisture Serum. This is like the third or fourth one that I've had of these. When I If like I don't want to do anything else to my face, and I just like I'm having a real lazy day, or like say if I'm just going away for the weekend somewhere, and I don't want to bring like a whole skincare regime with me, this is all I would bring. This kind of does a little bit of everything. It's a serum, it's a moisturizer. I mean, it's not a sunscreen, but the only negative is that it makes your hands a little sticky. I don't love that. Um, I do not feel like Leo is going to visit you. I'm so sorry. Does anybody have any yes or no questions before we leave? I didn't check my list. I don't know if anybody, I didn't hear any dings or anything, but you guys let me know if anybody bought a reading. I didn't hear. Usually when somebody buys a reading, I hear like a ding. This is some eye cream. I actually like this eye cream. I don't know if it's great or not, but what I do like about it is it doesn't burn my eyes, which is really good. It's also a gel consistency. It's by the brand Symbiosis. I don't know if it's a good eye cream or not. I don't know if it's helping my wrinkles or whatever's. But it is what it is. Next, we're going to scrub our lips. Hey Raymond, did you buy a reading, honey? Womp. Give me a second. You know, the only thing I don't like about Cash App is that you cannot message somebody back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like with Venmo, if somebody sends you money or whatever, like you can message them back. You can have like a back and forth dialogue. You can't really do that with Cash App, and I think that's kind of bad. Raymond, did you purchase a reading, honey? They're wanting a general. See my little psychic antennas? Who wants this hair? This is my DNA. Who wants it? Who wants a piece of my fine DNA? Look at this. I will mail this to you in an envelope. It still has the hair follicle, so if you did want to clone me, you could. I'm taking offers. What do you guys bet for this hair? Any takers? Any takers? I will put it in a manila envelope and mail it to you. Who wants it? Who wants my hair? You see that thing where like you trade a paper clip for like a house? What will you trade me for this piece of hair? What will you trade me for this piece of hair? It kind of looks like the letter S if you look at it the right way. I don't know if you guys can even see this hair. It kind of looks like the letter I don't even think you guys can see it. It looks like the letter S. It still has the follicle attached. It's a pretty good piece of hair. Strong. It's very silvery, sparkly. Who wants it? Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Let me go viral for trying to sell my hair. What could you do with this hair? You could put it in a locket and have a piece of me with you forever. You could use it to sequence my DNA and clone me. Who doesn't want that? I'm not in any trouble at all. I'm a dream. You could just keep it like, you could wrap it around your finger and make it into like a little ring. That's something you could do. You could just like stroke it like this. That's kind of fun. Like a little fidget toy, stroking a piece of my hair. You could, what else could you do with this? You could like do a greeting card for somebody that's kind of shaped like the letter S. So you can like glue this on a piece of paper, say to somebody like Stephanie, this would be the S, or like Season's Greetings, this would be the S, or someone special, this would be the S. Something you could do. If you had like a, you can use this for arts and crafts. If you wanted to catch a microscopic fish, you could use this as a fishing line. What do you think? What do you think? No takers? Nobody wants my hair? Nobody wants to bet on my hair or buy my hair? I'm going to put it over here just in case somebody changes their mind. Put it on my table over there. It'll be there in case anybody wants it. It has been freshly cleaned. I just got out of the shower about 2 hours ago. So it's nice and clean. Freshly cleaned. Shampoo and conditioner. You guys. Oh my god. If anybody has any questions, LMK. Just gonna put on a little sunscreen for the day. This is the Murad Essential C by sunscreen. What I like about this sunscreen is it smells really good. It kind of smells like oranges. I like that, and I don't like that. What I don't like about this sunscreen is a lot of it comes out at once. Like, you have to be so gingerly to not get like a shitload. If you're not careful and you're not thinking about what you're doing, a shitload will come out. It's SPF 30, which isn't the best for me. I like to do SPF 50, but you know, this is also a sunscreen that has skincare ingredients, so it acts as a moisturizer as well as a sunscreen, which is kind of a don't get this in your eyes though, because this will burn the shit out of your eyes. I think it's illegal. It shouldn't be. This will burn the shit out of your eyes. So be careful. Put it on the chest. Put it on the chest. Is this erotic? You guys, should I not be doing this on YouTube for free? And I don't like you anymore. Alright, everybody. I hope that you guys have the best day ever. I will be seeing you guys later on today on the Clock app. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Rosa.